So one of the most common questions that the team and I get asked frequently is, can I buy a home with little or no money down? Hey everyone, Chad Rankin with the Rankin Mortgage Team in Worcester, Massachusetts. And the answer is maybe. It's better than no, right? You're gonna hear from many lenders no. And that's because they don't have any options with zero or little down. Like we do, we specialize in mass housing, for example. And mass housing has a number of programs that offer down payment assistance. So I'd like to go over some of the most important highlights to the mass housing programs with you now. Most importantly, started off would be, you need to be a first-time home buyer. So what does that mean? It means that you have not owned a home in the last 3 years. And very importantly, that also means that you can't be on deed to any home, even if you never purchased it, it was a family member's, etc. Minimum FICO requirements. Now, mass housing recently went down to a minimum 640 FICO credit score on all of their programs. That does not necessarily mean that they will pop approved. Mass housing utilizes Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae and FHA's underwriting guidelines and decision engines. Does it mean that it's going to pop approved at a 640? Not necessarily. So we're always working with folks to try to help them achieve the best opportunity and options to help bring up their FICO to get them into the best program. Maximum household income. There's a difference depending on which program you choose or best fits your scenario. One program utilizes the maximum income based off of your household. And that program, if you fall into the Workforce Advantage program, it's 80% of the area median income. And even if you and another are the only two people or only single person that's on that application, we're not only using your income, but we're also using all the income in the household. So if there are adult children, for example, that live in the household, we need to use that income. And it's got to be under 80% area median income. So then on to the second program I want to talk to you about. It's the first-time homebuyer program, and that is the one that is probably more commonly used because more people do fit into that. That is up to 135% of the area median income, so significantly higher. You know, for example, in Worcester County, that's over $101,000, and that's just based off of the applicant alone. So we don't take a look at any income earned otherwise in the home, just the applicant's income. And the maximum acquisition cost limit, otherwise known as maximum purchase price. Mass housing does have maximum, acquisition cost limits, and they're based on county, so it differs. Like for example, in Worcester County, it's just about $346,000. It's much, much higher in the counties east of Worcester County, towards Boston. And so we have to be cognizant, be very aware of that when shopping, because if you exceed that in Worcester County, for example, then you are no longer eligible for the down payment assistance in the majority of cities and towns. However, there's a caveat to that, and that is if you buy in a gateway city. So in Worcester County, for example, that is Worcester, Leominster, and Fitchburg. There is no income limit on those, and you can still utilize the first-time home buyer credits for down payment assistance. Property types. We get this question all the time. A lot of times folks are interested in a multifamily, and if so, there are significant differences between a single family condo and multifamilies. So on a single family or condo, it's pretty straightforward. You can utilize, depending upon which program we got you qualified for, up to the entire 5% that mass housing will give you. And I won't go too in depth right now, but that's anywhere between $15,000 and $25,000, depending on the Workforce Advantage or the regular first-time home buyer program. And as I record this for you, we're actually looking at changes that are coming up with mass housing, and that's going to increase as well. So make sure, if you reach out to us, to just ask us exactly where that stands at this point. But the key is on the single family, the condo, you can utilize it all towards. So let's say you're buying a $300,000 property, you can use $15,000 or, otherwise, 5% towards the down payment. Whereas with a multifamily, that 5% down, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac actually require that you have to supply 3% from your own funds. It can't even be from a gift. It's got to be from your own funds. So you can only utilize 2% from mass housing. And then on top of that, there are reserves that are required, 6 months of mortgage payment reserves. So if that mortgage payment is $2,500 a month, you need another $15,000 on the sidelines that can't be utilized. Now that can be in the form of non-liquid funds 401k, stocks, etc. But have any questions about that, I'm happy to answer. And the all-important debt to income ratio, also known as DTI. Now, what that is a simple calculation of your gross income versus your total monthly expenses. There's a front end debt to income ratio and a back end. The front end is just your housing expense, which currently might be your rent, but when you buy, and as we calculate your future debt to income ratio based upon your mortgage application, that'll be the housing payment. And then the back end is the combination of that housing payment and any other debts you have, student loans, auto loans, so forth. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that, walk through that with you to see if there's anything we can tweak, any advice we can give you to help manage that debt to income ratio, see if we can utilize funds one way or another to help you get the purchase power that you need. And there is a first-time home buyer course that's required. Now, that's nothing to worry about now because it's something that just takes a few hours, typically in an evening at home, online. It's free. We'll tell you more about that later. Now, the most important thing is that we want you to know if you'd like to seek our advice, we really care about helping people buy homes. We really believe in the American dream, and this product is the best that we have to offer in Massachusetts. So what our job, I like to say, is to really analyze exactly where you stand right now. And if you're not ready right now, we're going to help guide you and advise you on what's the best. We're going to tell you why we feel it's the best. And at the end of the day, my goal is that we get you crystal clarity in whatever the plan is, so that if you truly do dream of owning a home, we're going to get you there. That's our goal. So if we can ever be of any assistance, any help, just reach out to us. We're here for that reason. Myself or my team, we look forward to talking to you. Thanks.